Hey everybody, James Arnold Taylor here. It was bound to happen. I've not had a cold in 4 years, since February of 2015. It's March of 2019, and a weekend in Seattle at Emerald City Comic-Con, something went awry, and I caught a cold. A lot of people ask, well, you're a voice actor, you make your living with your voice, what do you do when you get a cold? And I thought, probably the best way to do it is to document some of my time with this cold. Most on-camera people certainly wouldn't shoot themselves this way. Many other people wouldn't, but pajamas, hair a mess, nose inflamed. But you know what? I thought I'll shoot this stuff and I'll give you my way through this cold, because here's the thing, you can't escape the common cold. There is no cure for the common cold. However, how you take care of yourself during it can help you get better, quicker. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna just show you guys some of the things I do to make myself as healthy as I can while I go through it, and also avoid being down for longer while I'm working. In other words, so for example, here's the other thing that happened. The phone rang this morning with a job for a voice match on a character I've been doing for many years, asking me to do it this week. Well, the way I sound, don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. However, I have some tricks and things I can do for my voice, which I'll also try to document here as well and show you what I do to try and get there, because I'm hoping they're going to try to move the session to Friday. It's Tuesday now. By Friday my voice might be in good enough shape. However, I think my voice is going to get worse over the next couple of days. Generally what happens, usually it used to be with colds, for me at least, I would get a sore throat first, and then over the course of the next day the sore throat would dissipate and then the runny nose would start. Now I'm finding it's different with colds. Now I'm finding it starts with the runny nose, and then 2 days later when you think like, oh, I think I'm getting better, all of a sudden, bam, you get hit with this massive burning sore throat. So I'm looking forward to that. Not really. I want to show you all the various things I do to keep myself as clear as I can and able to get back to work and get back to real life as quick as possible. One thing I do, right now I'm in my kitchen, I'm making myself some bone broth soup, which is very healing to the body, because it's really about staying as healthy as you can when you're sick. So the one thing I do is I quarantine myself. I am here. I will not leave this house for the next few days. I will not do much more than sit in bed or sit on the couch or sit in a chair and rest. Pray, rest, read, watch a little TV, drink a ton of water, eat as healthy as I can, which I normally do anyways, but even more concentrated, just meals, healthy meals, vegetables, rice, a little protein, some soups, some bone broth, stuff like that. So here you go now, my adventure with a cold. Let's do it. Bone broth. This is chicken bone broth. I also have beef bone broth. Then put it over a nice slow heat. Low heat, slow. You don't want to just bring things to a boil real fast. Do it nice and easy. So that's, I let that sit for quite a while. It's been sitting for a little bit there. Some of the things I use, aloe. Aloe is great. Everybody gets that, you blow your nose too much, you get that red, and then the skin gets all dry and terrible. I know, sorry, it's awful talking about it. So blow your nose, throw some aloe all around on your nose, and it's gonna help. It burns a little, but boy, does it help. But this stuff, colloidal silver first aid gel. I'll do the aloe most of the time, but then a few, every couple of hours or so, I'll put just a little bit of this. It's just a little gel, and I'll put it around my nose on the parts that are red, and it helps the skin heal much faster. That is just simply salt water. Water with sea salt. A good sea salt. I make that myself. I put hot water in it with sea salt, and so when it's hot, so then I can spray that up my nose. And then this is also there's a brand of it, the same kind of thing. It's got a little more stuff in it, and I'll do that sometimes too. You gotta be careful with these things. You want to clean everything. You want to wash your hands really well. Wash your hands before you touch all this stuff. Why? Because if you end up using it again later, you don't want to be passing on the germs that you had before. Anyways, always better to just wash your hands. Serious cough, this stuff, these guys make this, so that you put a few drops of that in some water and you swig it down. I don't mind the taste. Most people don't like it. It's pretty strong. It's got like elm bark and all these other things in it. That helps with the cough, suppressing the cough a little. Because it's got some herbs in it and it gives that nice kind of minty, whoo. Turmeric Supreme, this is the stuff. I take this, you gotta get the immune, they make a bunch, this company Gaia Herbs. They make a bunch of different turmeric things. This one is the Turmeric Supreme Immune ASAP. Immune ASAP. Usually I will take that if I feel like maybe I'm coming down with something, and it helps clear it up. This time it couldn't escape me. The cold couldn't escape me. It hit me too hard. But I'm still taking this. You take it for 2 days. You take 2 pills 5 times a day for 2 days. It just helps keep your immune system stronger. Okay, you're not gonna beat the cold taking this stuff, but if you already have a cold and you started taking it, just continue taking it because it just helps you heal that much quicker. The type of Kleenex you get matters. It does. These Kleenex Ultra Softs right here, boy, there's a difference. Now, we had bought some on Amazon. It's supposed to be the same thing, but I think it's a rip-off one. I think it's one that is because the Kleenex are terrible. They feel like sandpaper. This is the one we normally get. We get it at Costco, and these are great. This was like a fraud one from Amazon. Be careful. Sometimes Amazon doesn't sell things that are totally legit, okay? But yeah, these Kleenex Ultra Soft, they're like, they've got a little, I think they've got like a little lotion in them or something. I'll tell you what, boy, do those help. Blow your nose, wash your face. So you wash your face as much as you can. And see, my face should be much worse, puffy and swollen and stuff. It's not great, and I don't sound great, but it's better because I've been washing my face. I've been putting the aloe on. I've been trying to not make it as gnarly as it could be. I like to keep a washcloth around to cough into, to sneeze into. Otherwise, you're just like that, and then, or achoo or whatever. I'm in a house with other people. I want to keep the germs down to a minimum. So I've got my little sneezing, coughing towel on the ready all the time. It's a simple thing, but it's also to try and be aware of spreading germs to everybody else in the house. Also just found out today that I have a Fox session tonight, so we'll see how I do. Now, on one hand, the resonance of my voice from the cold can help for the big, it's Sunday fun day. But if I push it too much, the voice can go away or start to crackle too much. So it's going to be a real challenge to see, but I'll do my best to bring a camera in and see what we get. A lot of water. Drink as much water as you can. It's my little mug. Actually, I got this the last time I was in Seattle, years ago when I gave my TED Talk. If anybody's ever seen my TED Talk I did, you can see my TED Talk on YouTube there. It's linked. But anyways, yeah, I got this mug when I was there. Chaco Canyon Organic Cafe. I went there. But I didn't go there this time while I was for the Emerald City Comic Con. Had a great time at Emerald City Comic Con. Me and Vanessa Marshall did a lot of panels together on Star Wars and stuff, and that was a lot of fun. And everybody there was wonderful. All the folks at Reed Pop, thank you. I don't know where or how I caught the cold. That's the thing. I'm really careful when I go out anywhere. I never touch my face. It's one of the key things to not catching a cold usually is your hands. You're shaking hands and all of that. But at a con where you're meeting literally hundreds and hundreds of people every day, you never know, what's going to get passed on to you or what could just be. The thing I felt, the biggest thing was that the air, everybody's breathing that same air, and everyone around me was sick. From other celebrities to the guests themselves, to sometimes it's inevitable you're going to catch something because you just can't, your body just can't. Plus, staying up late and flying and all that, your immune system then just starts, kind of getting weaker. And I probably didn't get enough sleep, so what happened was my immune system just got so low, and then exposed to that bad air quality within the con is probably how I caught it. But they say it usually takes 2 days. So generally the day you wake up with a cold, backtrack 2 days and go, where was I then? So yesterday I was thinking, okay, that would have been Saturday because it was Monday. Great Scott! And so Saturday was my busiest day. Saturday I got up early. I got up at 6 in the morning, went to breakfast with Vanessa Marshall. Then did a little grocery shopping, got my food for the day because I live such a strict diet of what I eat, especially when on the road. I find whatever place I can get some nice, veggie bowls with rice and a protein and vegetables, and I did that at this place called Bounty Kitchen, so I went there and I got that. And then I had a multi-con for the wonderful folks at High Fidelity, and if any of you saw the High Fidelity virtual reality version of my stage show, talking to myself. I did that. It's amazing. I have some footage there of me doing that. So normally I'm on a big stage in front of 1,000 plus people. This time I'm on a virtual reality stage while I'm actually just in a little room, which was pretty wild. Oh, see, here's the thing about the cold. You'll be fine for a minute, and then you feel that tickle. You get the tickle up in the sinus, and you feel the nose start to run. Here we go. Now this is crazy, but the other thing with blowing your nose, I'm going to teach you all how to blow your nose. No, you don't want to, when you're blowing your nose when you got a cold, I find if I don't blow really hard, that whole big, really blow it, but instead you just kind of easily try to blow it as simple. You don't break as many blood vessels, you don't mess up as much going on in your nose if you blow your nose easier. It's such a strange conversation to have. But Saturday, so yeah, we had I did the multi-con, I did my show, then got in a car, went back, did some autograph signing, then went and did the Twisted Tunes panel with everybody there, and that was a very crazy Twisted Tunes. After that, I started feeling like, I felt kind of like I got hit by a truck. I thought, oh man. So somewhere in there, my body started going, oh boy, I'm not feeling great. Then signed autographs the rest of the day, then went and taught a voiceover class from 8 o'clock till about 11:30 at night on Saturday with a great group of folks. Taught voiceover at a studio that I had actually been at the day before to do my Fox work because I rented a studio, even though I also did build my own vocal booth, which some of you may have seen, in my hotel room, so I did my auditions and I did some Fox stuff for that, but then I had a bigger session for Fox and I thought it was better to just go ahead and rent a studio out. So I rented a studio, Pure Audio. I went there, and that's where I ended up going 2 days later on Saturday to teach that class from 8 till about 11:30 at night. Tried to eat a little something, tried to wind down a little, probably didn't fall asleep till like 1:30, then back up early the next day. Just pushed myself too hard, and that can happen to any of us. So there you go. I feel like in Ferris Bueller, where his dad says, wrap a hot towel around your head. He says, wrap a hot towel around my head? Love that. And then he goes, hey Ferris, love you, buddy. And he does a little hand thing. Love you, buddy. I love you too, Dad. And then Ferris hangs up the phone and he looks at the camera and says, I'm so disappointed in Cameron. My Matthew Broderick is not the strongest impression in the world, but it's decent. But not when I got a cold. Anyways, I'm kind of wrapping a hot towel around my head like Ferris Bueller's dad said to do. It helps the sinus and your eyes. Not your eyes, my eyes. All right. One of the biggest things that I think most people forget to do when they have a cold, because it kind of hurts and because you have a cough, is to deep breathe. Now, most people don't deep breathe anyways, and if you've watched any of my stuff or you've ever gone to a James Arnold Taylor class or heard me talk on voiceover or voice acting or just living in general, deep breathing is a huge part of my life. It is a huge part of my life because it's so important to us, okay? So you want to deep breathe. When you have a cold, you shallow breathe, because it hurts sometimes or your chest gets congested. The worst part of a cold, see, like, I know that I'll have this cold for the next few days and I'm going to be miserable for the next few days, and I hate that. But what I hate more is if I don't take care of myself during this, I will have a cough that will last for months. As many of you watching this may already have a cough that from a cold you had like a month ago, a month and a half ago, and you still have this hacking cough. I know, because it's all over the place. Everywhere I go, I hear people hacking and stuff. So because all the junk, right, it drains and it drains, and you produce it in your lungs too, this junk, and you've got all those wonderful little hairs, micro little hairs on your lungs that help get the stuff out and catch germs and stuff, and that's why we cough. But you want to keep your lungs strong when you are sick. So 4 seconds in through the nose, hold 7 seconds, blow out 8 seconds through the mouth. Throughout your day, do it. If you're around other people when you're breathing, use your little towel when you blow out the air. That way you're not blowing out your germs everywhere. Nobody's here right now. My wife and my daughter are away for the day. We have a little like sitting area in our bedroom, and so that's where I'm at with watching a little TV and stuff. So deep breathing. And it's harder now because my nose is all, you know, swollen and full and all that, but still, I'm gonna breathe through it. I'm gonna hold my breath at times, sometimes not just that 4, 7, 8, but also sometimes I'll just hold my breath for a while. I'm still kind of holding it here even while I'm talking to you. And I'll let it out. Strengthen those lungs. You want to keep your lungs strong. You want to keep your stomach and your diaphragm strong. And then, you know, once a day, if it does turn into a cough, go to the sink. Oh, I'm getting that really like tickly, itchy thing in my nose right now, but I'm going to keep rolling. Woo! Oh, this is hard. Then if it turns into the cough, as painful as it is, I go to the sink once a day, kind of hang out and just cough. Get it up and out as much as I can. And then hold my breath as long as I can. And when you have that cough and you're like, ooh, ooh, and you feel that cough coming, I will hold my breath as long as I can. Hold it. Strengthen those lungs. Strengthen those. It's like muscle building. and then really cough and let it out. And then tighten the stomach. Hold the air. Because you want to keep your lungs strong. Cook some stuff. A little more bone broth there. Some zucchini. A little brown rice my wife had cooked up earlier. And that's on a high flame. I'm gonna steam that. This is a great steamer, all-clad steamer. I use this for everything. Great way to heat things. I know a lot of people use microwaves and stuff like that. No microwave. You know what we use the microwave for? The clock. That's pretty much it. Yeah, we don't use a microwave at all. I pretty much steam, you know, to reheat stuff. We have a toaster oven. Sometimes I will heat things in the toaster oven as well. But for the most part, I steam stuff. You want to eat simple foods when you're sick. Steamed vegetables, rice, a little protein. You know, a piece of fish, piece of chicken, a piece of beef. Lentil beans are fantastic. You know, if you're vegan or vegetarian, some lentil beans, or you know, you could do a hard-boiled egg or something. If you know, again, if you eat animal proteins, simple food. I mean, you want to eat simple food anyways because it's easier to digest. But when you're sick, you don't want your body to work really hard to digest. And when you have a cold, you want to eat more because you know, feed a cold, starve a fever, is the old saying. You get hungry because your body's trying to get better. So if you overload it with a bunch of breads and heavy food or junk food that's got sugars in it, that's just going to compromise your immune system more and make you feel more sluggish, make you not heal as quickly. So nice, simple, easy foods, broths, chicken soup. That's why chicken soup is so great, I think, because it's just very healing. It's a nice little brothy kind of thing. There's vegetables in it usually, a little carb, a little protein, a little vegetable. That's what you want. The other thing is, you want to do this normally anyways as well, but chew your food. Do yourself a favor here sometimes. While you're sitting there eating, chew your food. See how many times you actually chew when you put the food in your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Most people probably chew about 9 times. You know how many times you're supposed to chew? 100. To really, so when I got sick before with toxic mold poisoning and did the macrobiotic cooking and stuff, the macrobiotic specialists would say you should chew your food 100 times. It's really hard to chew your food 100 times. And again, this is already a video on colds and, you know, swollen noses and all that, so we're gross. Okay, I'm talking about chewing food now, so sorry. Chewing it 100 times to really break it down. Why? Because then your body, your system, your stomach and everything can digest it easier if it's truly broken down the right way. So, look, if you can get it 20 times, if you normally chew 9, try to go to 20. Count as you chew. Make it a thing. So you don't need to talk to everybody while you're eating, especially when you're sick. You got nothing else to do. Sit there and chew your food and count how many times you chew. If you can do 20 to 40 or 50, that's great. That's a start. But they say you're supposed to then chew, and this is gross, sorry. Chew the food, then kind of swallow the liquid that forms from it all, and you get the nutrients there. Chew, again, swallow, again, more liquid, than less food, more liquid. Sorry, gross out, I know. Chew, you know, up to 100 times until there's really nothing left of the food, and then it goes down. That's the way they say, but I'll tell you what, it makes a difference. Here's something we got to keep our vegetables fresh. It is a food saver. So you take this, put this on here. So what that does is it sucks all the air out of the food, and it makes it easier. Well, and it makes it so the food can survive longer, last longer. So as food savers, we do that with our vegetables. Sometimes we'll cut up the vegetables the first part of the week, put them all into little food savers like that, suck all the air out of them, keep them in the fridge, and then you just have vegetables ready to go, you know, whenever you want them, and that makes it easier for making quick meals. Sometimes I use little to-go or, you know, compostable paper plates and stuff like this, especially when I'm sick, because sometimes when you're sick you're not up to doing the dishes, so it makes it easier, so you don't have to do the dishes. Then the other thing also is nobody else has to do your dishes and touch your dirty things, you see. So I will use, you know, paper to-go things, put my food in that. My wife doesn't have to clean up after me. I can simply throw it away. Later, throw it in the composter. Boom. Well, olive oil, sea salt. I use this Herbamar herb sea salt. Yeah, little steamed veggies and brown rice. Good. Bone broth, which will be my protein right now as well. So again, I'm always trying to get carb, vegetable, non-starchy vegetable, and a protein with each meal, and nice and easy. Healing to the body. While searching for something to watch, I find myself Lego DC Comics Superheroes The Flash. That's me as the Flash. It's the second day of taping, so it's day 2 of the real cold, but it's day 3 of having the cold. It's Wednesday. You can hear more, less, but more, big bad watery eyes, runny nose. Again, not in the way my nose was running yesterday. So I have a job later today. The job that I was supposed to do last night that I was talking about, they ended up moving it to today at like 1:30, and it is now, what is it? It's 11:30, so in 2 hours, 2 hours, I have a job for Fox. Now my voice is The Simpsons, Family Guy, Bob's Burgers. You know, I got that resonance right now because of the fact that, you know, I've got the cold. So it may work really well. The trick is to maintain it throughout a session, depending on how many scripts I have. So I will probably make a little concoction and do a little something. I got a little bone broth drinking right now. What I will probably do is make a little concoction before going in the studio of lemon juice, garlic, apple cider vinegar, cayenne pepper, and oil of oregano. I know, right? You're envious. You want some, don't you? I'll do a shot of that, and that will help. You hear the little haze in my voice? That'll help clear out my voice for a short amount of time. And that's really all I need it for, is to do this session. Usually my sessions with Fox last about 15 minutes, but the trick is the timing of it. So what I have to do is I have to know, okay, they're gonna dial me up at 1:30, so at 1:15, I'll usually, somewhere in that place, maybe 1:20, because just in case they're running a little late or whatever, I will do the shot of the stuff, and I might have like a little menthol cough drop. I get these ones from Zand, Z-A-N-D, these cough drops, and they're made with brown rice syrup and stuff instead of sugars and things. They got a nice eucalyptus kind of mentholy, that'll open up the sinus, which will get rid of some of the little crackly stuff that happens because of, you know, and that will give me a window of time where my voice will work better. I will still have a bit of this kind of, you know, sound to it, so I have to kind of, you have to learn how to think about that more than you would normally. See, right now you can hear, if I just kind of just talk, if I just let my voice just go and relax, and I'm talking to you, you will hear, you hear this? So in order for me to not, I have to concentrate on it, and if I wanted to sound as though it's just me talking normally, I can kind of fake it here a little. You can still hear though there's some congestion in my nose. So another way I would do it is I might then take it down here, and then here it is, my voice without as much of a cold in it. You can still kind of hear it, but I have to over enunciate. And you watch, my mouth is now moving a little bit bigger. If you're doing voiceover, nobody's going to see that. but you can kind of, for a time, you can fake it. Eventually, the sinus fills up again, it gets a little swollen, you got all of that happening, and you're going to start hearing if I let go and just kind of let my voice be. So there's little tricks I can do, and that's what I'm going to do for those 15 minutes of time that I have to do my session for Fox. Hopefully it'll only be 15 minutes. Hopefully it won't be a long session. They could have anything from 1 script to 7 scripts. And we'll just see. We'll just see. Well, Mallory. Well, okay. So anyways, more washing my face, aloe on my nose, a little colloidal silver gel on my nose to help keep the skin from getting too irritated, agitated. You know, all things considered, I've got a pretty bad cold right now, and I have no makeup on. I'm not doing anything. If I needed to dress myself up and look good, I probably could, and sound good, you know, a couple little tricks for short bursts of time. But that's mainly just because I'm resting, drinking tons of fluid, water, the bone broth, eating good food. I got a bowl of steamed vegetables and rice here I'm eating. I'm resting. I'm hanging out. This is the key. The other thing is I'm not talking much outside of what I'm doing here for you now. I'm resting my voice. I'm deep breathing. I'm washing my face. I'm getting this goop out instead of swallowing it and letting it all go down. All that, which is what most people do. When I blow my nose, I'm not blowing my nose hard. I'm nice and easy. Simple, trying not to across my face, and I'm trying to just take it as easy as I can, breathing and accepting that I have a cold. This will pass, but for the time being, I'm not going to feel very good. That's the biggest key to it all, is accepting it and moving forward in it and going, okay, I got a cold and I'll get better. And right now, this is what the body does to cleanse it. And I envision as well my body free and clear of all this stuff next week at this time. But the deep breathing to keep the chest clear.